by the power of Grayskull.
These words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus. And everybody's favorite. Woo! Greetings to everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while, purposely. I'm going to have a jolly old rant, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Matter of fact, first person who got an issue with my rant is the first person I'm going to fucking embarrass. I will say this, I will say this, and I will say it again. First person who tries to get buck, I'm going to check your ass on this one, because there's some shit I got to get off my chest. Number one, it is official. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start with this. Like I told my coworker, she even agreed when I explained to her. The reason why we speak in generalities, or in general, is because you could take a large group of people that are so large that, yes, you can have room for variables or oddities. When you start saying all, that's when you're speaking in absolutes and totality. So I'm going to speak to everybody like they got some brains and some intelligence that's greater than a 5-year-old child to know when I speak in generality, there's enough room for some variables. We make an exception to the rule, but we never make the rule to the exception. I'm going to say this. It is official. And there's nothing else in the world that could disprove it because I have enough evidence to prove it. Black women are the worst mothers on God's green earth. American black women are the absolute worst. Absolute worst. And even my coworker, a black female mother who actually spends time and cultivates her son and picks my brain about how to raise a proper boy. Even though she was divorced, which is also a rarity that I pointed out to her, she's like, none of my sisters been married. I'm the only person I know that's been married in my age group. I said this, and I'll say it again. Even she said it. There's a few good ones, but the majority of us are horrible as mothers. What do you mean, Charles? What do you mean? You are horrible as mothers. You will sit there in the Apple store using the VR equipment, playing on the computers, and let your kids run around like it's goddamn Hershey Park. You will allow your sons to put watches on and try to run out the store, try to put the testing AirPods in their pockets, and won't even say a goddamn thing to them. I think it's I think it's abysmal. But every time we see a black father with their children, they're well behaved, they're well kept, mostly studious. But 95% when we see black single mothers there, those children are fucking demons. Think about it. You don't cultivate these boys and girls. You allow your 15-year-old daughter to walk into a fucking place of business with a fucking bonnet. You don't even let me tell you a real secret, right? When it comes to a black mother, look at the child's hair. You are a lazy son of a bitch if you don't even brush your child's hair, boys and girls. If the hair on the boys are so goddamn beady that you look like you could play a pool game on top of their skull, that says a lot about a woman. Because really, a lot of mothers don't want to get the only reason they get their son's hair cut is because they're too lazy to maintain it. But of course, she got her fashionista shit on. Their lips are just as ashy and dry, look like cracked sidewalks. Like, god damn. I had to literally talk to a 12, 7, and 14-year-old on how to properly conduct yourself in a place of business. Why should I have to check your child? Why? And I don't want to hear this about black women struggles because everybody knows victimization is the same thing for you as willpower is for the goddamn Green Lantern Corps. You have children you don't want to cultivate. You raise criminals and hellions. You raise sluts. You don't see an overabundance of fucking winners coming out the black single mother community. You see a bunch of criminals. But we should elevate and glorify black women. Fucking why? Your child is not great because of you. Your child may be great despite you. And I use that Apple store as as a social experiment. Every time you see a child with their father, hell, I don't even have to go to the white fathers. We'll look at the black fathers. The children are on his hip, less than 4 feet away, not unruly, not loud. Black mothers, the child's running out the goddamn store. You don't establish discipline. None of you are disciplined. Let's just get that out the way. None of you are disciplined. The only reason you hit your child is because of frustration and anger. It's funny, right? You are so hell bent on being the rulers of hell and let your children crash and burn than to admit your utter failure and defeat. Remember, these are the same women that if you dated a white woman or a woman that's not black, they'll scowl you, but they'll congratulate the ugly bitches who date white dudes. You were fucking failures. You were fucking failures. I swear to God, if I see another chick with red or blue hair, that's like the capital sign of ghetto. Your children have become enemies of the state. You don't read to them. You just throw a goddamn digital device to them and say, "Here, take care of yourself. Get out of my face." Do you have a bookshelf in your house? Why do you dumbasses don't even? Oh God! Oh God! You're right. It's called black fatigue. Like, I'm sorry. It's always our people to embarrass the fuck. I think you had the bitch the day before arguing with one of the senior managers. One of my partners, thank God, the female was there because it would look a lot better for her dragging out the store than me Undertaker choking this bitch. And you know what her ultimate problem was? And my partner said it best. She said, "You know what the black woman's problem is? We don't know when to shut the fuck up." And I said, "I bet you she's in a relationship to a simp. That's why somebody put it in the chat. You know what time it is. Simps ruin everything." Because a lot of niggas grew up with a fucked up mother. You don't know how to behave yourself. You got to look for your validation through these fucked up ass women. And what happens? What happens? They're going to look at you as lesser than. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to a lot of guys. There are some of us who just gets lucky. And I wish the people who just get lucky to get a girlfriend or wife who has children from previous relationships. If the children are well behaved and she treats you like a man and she's catering to you, you're lucky. That's not the norm. Most women will look at you as the biggest simp in the world and truly not respect you because of this reason alone. I'm lesser than, so he must be lesser than me if he accepts this behavior. So why should I respect him? You coming in there like, yeah, I'm gonna be the man. I'm gonna do. Nobody respects that shit. I had to tell my boy today about a female coworker of his. You make a light joke in the roll call room, guess what? It's a light fucking joke. She says, well, you gotta apologize to me. I would have said, go fuck yourself, bitch. I told him, stop fucking. I would have said, fuck yourself. I really would have told that bitch, oh, you can't take. See, this is the reason why men and women really don't need to work together. Because when it's time to make light jokes and shit, you can't take the heat. But you could call that man sensitive, but when he jokes about your work, oh, you get pissed. She said, well, you need to apologize in front of everybody since you made a joke. Man, go fuck yourself. I would have diddy bopped the fuck out of that. I said, bitch, I will die 1,000 deaths before I apologize to you. Matter of fact, I said I will actually, I'm more likely to climb Mount Everest than apologize to you. And first and foremost, you're in an organization where you're supposed to have tough skin and be able to laugh at yourself. But you think you're the queen of goddamn Sheba that I need to get the entitlement fuck out of here. But you wonder why, for all these years, I've proven to so many black women that black women are horrible fucking creatures. I'm not going to say, but what about all? It's not all. It's the overwhelming majority. It's 95% of you. You're not nice to talk to. You're confrontational. You're loud. A lot of you overweight. A lot of you fucking wear bonnets like it's a badge of honor, like it's like a green beret in the military. Like it's like it's it, it's gotten to the point where being a black woman is almost being mentally ill. Because if a man says, I don't like you wearing bonnets, you will wear even more bonnets. Some of you will wear two of them. Baby, you're getting a little big, let's go to the gym. You will get even bigger. Baby, I like it when you're sweet to me. You'll become meaner. It's like Bizarro World or some shit. And then having a conversation last night to one lady, and she said, well, drug dealers aren't bad people. Well, the reason why a lot of girls date drug dealers, yeah, well, that's because they have a certain confidence, or they treat you well because they think that you're too good for them, or you're above them. I said it's because of control and disposable income. You know that if he gets out of line, you can call the police and they got his ass because you know where all the shit is, which is the stupidest thing you niggas do. You simps, you talk too goddamn much. Pillow talk gets everybody locked up. You want to know where all the good shit is? Let him piss off his girlfriend. She'll sing like Frankie Beverly. Ask me how I know. I'm like, would you tell your fucking daughter to go date a fucking drug dealer? They're not bad people. You're selling poison to your people. Like sometimes I'm really starting to think that it's a mental fucking illness to be black American female. But then you try to tell me, well, I date men. I said, yeah, you date men, but I am a man. Guess who outranks who? I know how men think. You date them, but you don't know a shit ton of what they think. That's like me telling you how it feels to have a period. But the fucked up part about it is when you try to say drug dealers are not bad people, well, it could be a situation. There's plenty of poor people in this country who don't sell drugs. Why him? It's like a bitch saying I'm trapped. He trapped me. No, no, no. You decided to have that baby. I swear to God. The amount of stupidity, the amount of stupidity that I've heard in the last few weeks since I've spoken to you good people. Like, oh my God. The black community's done. Just nuke this bitch. Nuke it. Generation done. We've been done since the fucking 60s. How is it all your aunts and uncles are fucking dark skinned, but you got one uncle or aunt who's light skinned with green eyes? Grandma was a hoe.
You said don't say sixties. That's the funniest shit I know.
You think bitches are ratchet now? You should have seen it in the fucking 90s. Bullshit. What you think Freaknik started? Bullshit. Remember when I said context? Luke started in the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, they were fucking... Man, the only difference is they weren't as fat now. When I graduated high school in 2000, right? Baltimore had a selection of beautiful bitches. Believe it or not. Bullshit. It's most majority of the bitches I see outweigh me.
They got them though. It's just they freaked out.
They ain't freaked out. They don't exist. These bitches are invisible. You know what happened? All the bitches that were beautiful in my day, they look like pickup trucks. It was more beautiful bitches than ugly ones. Now, think about it. We didn't have any BBW back in 2000. God damn, you were looked at as a fucking weirdo if you purposely sought out a big bitch. You purposely looked at it as a weirdo. Like, yo, why you dating that fat bitch? You don't openly date a fat bitch. Like, yo, that fat bitch was at best 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. At best. At best. Two Live Crew, Luke, all that shit. Oh my God. The 90s had the 2000s and the 90s. You probably saw the best looking group of bitches. And then all of a sudden, 2010 brought his ugly head around, and all these bitches said, you know what? Instead of putting on muscle from gamma radiation, they put about 150 pounds of fat, fake 1,000 pounds of fake hair, 3,000 pounds of stank ass attitude,
Tucking stomachs and shit.
tucking stomachs. That bitch don't have a fupa. She got a kangaroo pouch. Got a hatchback in the front. How the fuck do you do that? You can talk loud so they can hear you. I mean, you would, because it's called lazy. When you see a bitch work out, she stays basically young forever. But as soon as she don't work, but you got these bitches, why you want to date that skinny bitch? Because I don't want to date Andre the Giant. I don't want to date I don't want to date a bitch that look like a 50s pro wrestler. That's why. It is not cute for bitches to be like. It is not cute for bitches to be looking like Gorilla Monsoon. But then, let's talk about New York. And this lets me know black women are a cause of 90% of the problems of the black community. They put a fat, mammy ass statue, an overweight black woman with an attitude on her face in the middle of fucking Times Square. And you bitches aren't upset with that? You aren't upset with that. And you wonder why the world doesn't respect us. They're disgusting. Like, not only just an attitude, but how you take your children, how you treat your men. God damn. You allow a statue, no protests. Nobody's even vandalized this shit yet. Go ahead. I'm waiting for the first bitch to get on here and say misogynist. Oh, Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Van Vanderbilt bitches. How all these broke bitches talking about how much they worth? You're not even a white collar criminal or a black collar criminal. You're a ring around the tub criminal.
Damn.
Nasty bitches. How you got droplets of piss on your toilet seat and there's no males in the fucking house? Like God, man. And when I told Shorty, do you always have to be right? Only when I'm right. But prove me when I was wrong. As I tell people, you wonder why men really don't like talking to women. Because there's nothing substantial you can say. If you think about your life, you could probably count on one hand a woman ever gave you advice, good advice. On some of you could never think of a woman who gave you good advice, and that's including some of your mothers. Sometimes your mother gave you the worst advice. You know why? Because they can only think one way. They think internally. Well, I don't do. I. Guess what? There's more people in the world than you. You wonder why I can openly say you're the worst mothers. How you keep your children and how well managed your children is a reflection on you. If we would call a man a loser from being a suspected deadbeat dad, why don't we do it to the mother? Why don't we look at the mother and say, why'd you fuck this nigga? But when Shorty told me, well, in my 20s, I might have dated a drug dealer, in your 20s, you were in the fucking Navy, Shorty. You were in the fucking Navy. Why would you date a drug dealer?
Asinine.
Why? You trying to go to federal prison? This is how fucked up the black community is with mating and dating. This is how fucked up it is. If I had a daughter, I would be very black pill with her. You see that little nerdy kid right there in your class? Little science guy, look like he's going somewhere. I want you to fuck his brains out loose. I want you to fuck his brains out loose. I want you to put that shit on him like the motherfucker, like Ted DiBiase puts the $1 Million Dream on motherfuckers back in the 80s and 90s. I want you to put that shit on him like Sting used to put the Scorpion Deathlock on niggas, or Bret Hart with the sharpshooter. I want you to put that shit on him like Kurt, like fucking Ken Shamrock with an ankle lock. You know why? Because you can become the battery in this motherfucker's back, and and at least you know this nigga has a great chance of going somewhere. No, y'all want to date drug dealers because you're too chicken shit to do the dangerous shit yourself, so you live vicariously through them. If you, I wish my daughter, if I had a daughter, she'd bring a drug dealer. Where the fuck do you work, kid? Let me see your taxes. Well, I'm a street pharmacist. Get your ass back on the pharmacy and get the fuck away from my daughter. It's like y'all purposely pick the worst niggas and try to make them fathers of the year. He don't do shit for his kids. Does he do shit for himself? No. Then he ain't gonna do shit for the kids. It's an equal equation, you dumb bitch. God damn. Yeah, you right, ghetto not. Flip that monkey on him like Rey Mysterio. Like, I'm sorry. People might say, "Oh my God, you're oh my God."
Who said flip that monkey on him like regular?
I mean, God damn. Like, here's my shit. You would think mothers. What's Kim Kardashian's mother name? At least that bit. It just tells you the difference between white women, white mothers, and black mothers. White mothers usually forbid you to date a fucking broke motherfucker. She like, if you look at all the niggas Kim Kardashian fucked, they weren't broke. Name one broke nigga. You won't know it. The average black woman, all her niggas are broke. Just like this one chick my boy tried to put me on. Oh, I could call my baby father now to tell you how good that pussy. It ain't good enough to keep his ass, was it? You are literally the Charles Barkley of dating and mating. 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, no rings. What they used to say, if you ain't nut when you had sex, it don't count. How? How do you fuck that up? And this is the sad part. Women have the evolutionary advantage from 14 to 30. You see that nigga right there? What's that? Yeah, the nigga with the 4.0 or the 4.5. You see that motherfucker? Guess what, bitch? Seduce him. Seduce him. Here's some condoms. Don't get pregnant because you'll fuck him over, which will fuck you over. Seduce this motherfucker. I want you to be the better. You want that motherfucker to be better? Tell him to go to the gym and start lifting. Encourage him with his studies. And when graduation time comes, he's going to marry your black ass. You know who uses that strategy real well? White girls. Am I lying? Chat, am I lying? White girls will be the battery in the back for a lot of niggas. You see it in the NFL. You see it in the NBA. Why does he marry that white bitch? And the white bitches a lot of times ain't that cute. But she's useful. She's the battery in the back.
Especially the football players.
But you telling me you can't get that motherfucker, that nerdy motherfucker, and fuck his brains out, help him with his books, put a little style on him, and he ain't gonna marry you when he if the motherfucker's in a STEM, he's walking out of college with 150,000 starting. But you bitches would rather be with drug dealers in your 20s. You wonder why we are perpetual losers. Simps ruin everything, and black women help. Actually, I might even change that up. Black women fuck it up, and simps validate it. Mm. But like Green and Rainbow, you ain't gotta take my word for it. Oh no, you're being so vulgar, Charles. I don't even care where anybody stick their dick. I'm not even saying interracially date. Yep, Kris Kardashian. Think about it. Do you think she let her daughters fuck broke niggas? I want y'all to think. Tell me where I was wrong the last 34 minutes. Tell me. Tell me where I was wrong. Generational wealth starts with your pussy. Two places where generational wealth starts: a man's ingenuity and a woman's pussy. Her womb, if you will. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Oh, you would tell your daughter to go fuck? Yes. 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 Terrell Suggs' daughter plays basketball at my godson's school. If he was close enough, go fuck that bitch. She's got 6 offers. She looks nice. She's talented as a player. She's going places. Go fuck her. Seduce her ass. Let me have the opportunity as a dude, and I had a rich bitch. I would riz her the fuck up. Hell. Oh, yeah, by the way, on a side note, when some of you who are my subs are also friends with me on Facebook and Instagram, shout out to Cree Summer. Talking about being 55 and never approached a man. I'm not going to be too harsh with Cree. One, I like her. She's a sweetheart. And she supported Black Line Security, so I can't hate that. And I have to say this. Anybody who knows Cree's been in show business since 9. You heard of the show Inspector Gadget? She was Penny. That's how long she's been in the business. When we look at her prime would be a different world. I thought she was fine as a motherfucker. Here's my point to a lot of women out there, and I got to hark on the women a little bit more. Stop waiting till you're not men. Men can actually look debonair, rugged, and look classical as older people. Where women, you're on the downslope. You almost serve no purpose but companionship to men when you're past 35. Let's be honest. You serve no purpose but companionship because majority of women can't have kids after that. So if you're not having kids and you're not tolerant to raising kids, you serve almost no purpose to that man. You have to, this is the reason why you have to endure yourself to a man early because you would serve no other purpose to him. It's the equivalent of that man getting a high contract in sports or a high contract for his skills in tech or STEM or trades, and you coming along all of a sudden because he's got a lot of money instead of being with him through the hard times. You got to endear yourself to people. It's a damn shame a 43-year-old black man has to explain this shit to bitches. Should have been your mother's, but she wasn't worth shit in the first place. And that's why you fuck up when it comes to mating and dating. That's why your mother didn't put you near your father. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to quote my boy, Terrell Hall. He says, I got 2 sons and a daughter. He says, I really got to work on my daughter because that's me giving her to a man. And that's going to be a reflection of me as a father to say you didn't raise your girl to be a proper wife. But nobody thinks about that shit. So you're telling me that all this, what I'm saying for women, yes, it's true. You made yourselves not even commodities anymore. You used to be assets. Now you're a commodity. Now you're a liability. And the fucked up about being a liability, we can't trust you. We can't trust you. That liability is so frustrating that you're not worth the risk. We're not getting a good investment. We're looking for the long-term investment. Especially you women with kids. I want you to think about it. You're the only creatures in the world that thinks bringing kids into a new relationship is going to benefit the man. No, that's extra mouths to feed. And he has no genetic or biological input into those kids. So he has no real reason to give a fuck about those kids. But y'all don't think about that, do you? And because you have a poor vetting system for men, why do you think you're 5 times more likely to be sexually abused as a child in a single mother home than a single father home? You pick the worst men. Remember when Shorty said in my 20s I might have dated a drug dealer? But you don't even have. So if you're not. This is why this shit is so dangerous. Because if you're not teaching your daughters not to date those type of men and that they're bad men off the rip, and you're trying to make an exception to the rule, you're going to let your daughter get pregnant by a drug dealer and he gets shot and killed in the streets or locked up for 15 years. Guess who she's stuck with? Those goddamn kids. There's no type of resources you're going to get from the father. There's no type of input, no type of knowledge. No, this is the reason why they found husbands for you because they knew from the start of life women were illogical when it came to love. This is why. But people are too busy trying to say the man is fear, the man is fear. They hate women. No, 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 no. Anytime you tell the truth about a woman, they think you hate them. You know why? Because they really don't like themselves. Women don't like themselves. Women know they're fucked up creatures. You ask any of them, they know they're fucked up. They're fucked up. Anything God made illogical to have a fucking bowling ball sized object come out your vagina, you have to be illogical because men be like, oh, fuck no. That's why they had to be illogical. They had to raise children. That's why you got the silly ass Michelle Obama complaining about having the most powerful man on earth as your husband, but you wish he could change diapers as much as you. What the fuck? You're some of the most ungrateful bitches ever. There is no man God could ever create, including himself, that will satisfy modern women today, especially modern black women. And this is what I'm gonna tell you, you black men, especially you simps. Why try? Yes, you should vet your women. Yes, you should put them through the ringer. Yes, you should test them. Why try? They're going to complain about you anyway, whether if you're great or not. I don't get it. You still got simps here, not understanding what places like the Black Manosphere is teaching you. Why try? It's a losing fucking battle, ladies and gentlemen. It's a piss poor story of gains. Why try? Excuse me. Ugh, smoke too bad. I'm actually fucking sober tonight. I haven't drank anything tonight. This shit been on my head for 2 to 3 weeks. Why try? See, all right. Do y'all want me to go in about the Michelle Obama thing? Give me a woo. And somebody hit the goddamn somebody hit the Cash App shit. That licking cigars don't buy itself, remember? Give me a woo. Only one woo, goddammit. Goddamn. Guess I don't want me to go in about that. Okay. I'll go to something else. Shit. No problem to me. Remember, I like my channel a little interactive, goddammit. Like this goddamn cigar again. Give me some good smoke in this bitch. Hit that Cash App and hit that goddamn woo in the chat. Salute to my boy JLJ in the building with the Cash App. Salute. Where are you, JLJ? Thank you for your support, JLJ. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why Michelle Obama is acting the way she did. She does. Okay, bear with me. It might not be deep, but it's deep enough. Michelle Obama married a black woman's worst fear. And what is a black woman's worst fear? Is marrying a man that outranks you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. She had to come to the realization that all the glorious, fabulous life she's been living, all the traveling, meeting the Queen, meeting Beyonce, meeting all these celebrities and politicians, the power brokers of the world, she knows, and she has an eternal reminder that, number one, if it wasn't for that man, nobody would know me. Number two, if it wasn't for that man, I would not live that life. Number three, I can't outrank him. What first lady outranks a president? None. That is a black woman's worst fear. You can't say shit about him. You literally have to make up shit to talk about Barack Obama. I felt like being a single mother. See how victimhood is like willpower for the Green Lantern Corps? In Best of Day and Blackest Night. No matter what lie I tell, and no matter what truth I behold, it's still always on Tyrone. They charge up their fucking rings with that shit. Oh, man. She can't outrank his ass. No matter what. She can't tell him to get the fuck out. She can't tell him you ain't shit without me, because guess what? She knows that, number one, you are nothing without him. All you would be is you would just be you may be big in Chicago as a lawyer, maybe, but you wouldn't be First Lady Michelle Obama without Barack Obama. Because when you're president of the United States, as they say, any bitch will do. Any bitch will do. And people hate that, especially her. She hates it the most because there's nothing she could change. Instead of being thankful that that man took her on the journey, she's so captivated by her anger that it couldn't be me who done it. He outranks me in every way. Let me tell you how bad it is. And we're gonna do a quick post, a quick vote. How many times have you heard women say they would fuck Barack Obama? How many? How many? How many? How many have you? How many times have you heard, especially during his presidency, they would fuck Barack Obama? AB said too many times. Horowitz said far too many. All the women said that. Come on, keep coming, keep coming. We let this interaction to go. And I'm gonna prove a point. Granny too. You goddamn right, Eldrick. Granny too. But now, how many times have you heard dudes say I'm gonna fuck Michelle Obama? I'll wait. That is a major psychological blow to a woman. When your husband has more women and probably some men who would fuck him than you do. See, now you understand the fiendishness of this woman. There's nothing I can do that can beat him. This nigga is her better in every way. What can you say? You ain't shit. As the first lady, you're supposed to be the president's first servant, and she can't stand it. You can't say that he's a bum on the street. You can't say anything bad about him. All the check marks this nigga hits. It just lets you know how bad, how horrible, how horrible of a person her attitude is. Yes, she has that Jezebel spirit. Sorry about that. Accidentally bumped myself off. Well, that's always the case. Man becomes billionaire building success. Woman becomes billionaire divorcing the man. Tale as old as time. Yeah. I want you to think about this, right? I want you to think about this shit. How many times, how many times have you been around women that are jealous of you? How many? How many? See, you got to realize that women project in 4K IMAX. All their insecurities, all their failures, they're going to put on your head. When she accused you of cheating, it's only because she's passing around pussy like a Uno card table, like a Uno game. When she said you'll never amount to shit, and sometimes your mother said that to you too, it's because she never amounted to shit. I want you to think about how many kind words did you really get from black women compared to any other woman? How many kind words have you really gotten out of it? You can't even think of a real good love story between a black couple without them talking shit to each other, without there being a challenge, without there's anything out there. What's up, Brian?
Hey, how's it going, Dr. Faulkner?
Well, still lacking.
Same here. Same
Think
here.
about, think about it. You can't even think. Some of you can't even think of your own mother giving you good words of encouragement. Your mother looks at you like a failure.
Listen, that's going to be one of the parts of my book. When I dive into that, my mother, uh, the way she treated me in adulthood, as opposed to how she treated me in my childhood, that's an extended part of that's going to be, I think that's going to be part two of my book.
That's another part. That's another part I'm gonna speak of real quick. When you no longer bring any value to that home, you are an enemy of the state.
Yep.
When you bring no value to that home, i.e., child support, i.e., working, protection, doing whatever she needs you to do because she's too lazy to do it, you
Food
bring no
stamps.
value. You bring no value. You're enemy of the state. You're any other nigga to her now, especially when and if you buck up. Get thee behind me, Satan.
Let me have that for a minute. I'll give y'all a preview of what this part of my book is going to be about, because I'm going to start redoing Diary of a Mad Snowman in standalone pre-recorded chapters here pretty soon. And also to give you a preview, I won't put them in order until we start to put the whole thing together. When my father died in 2007, it seemed like my mom a leaf flipped in my mother. Like I was nothing to her now without dad around.
Uh-huh.
Like I couldn't do anything right. I got food stamps for me. Guess who wound up getting them?
Mom.
Yep. A lot of stuff, a lot of decisions I made for me. Because I was going through some things. Dad passed away. I lost my apartment in Gary, Indiana. Mom reluctantly let me come back and live with her, though she wasn't reluctant in allowing my sister to come back and live with her. And I was supposed to be the money train, even though my sister was working.
You were the protection. You were the provision.
Yep.
Your sister can't protect mom. Big 6'5" ass.
You know, to go further, when I got into Chicago media, guess who were the first two women to immediately approach me about Bulls tickets? Take a guess.
Mom and
Sister.
sis.
Yep.
And they use your nephew.
As a barrier. Absolutely.
No, as
Not
a
even
bait.
as a bear. Not
As
even as
bait.
a barrier.
Forget bait. Forget a barrier. That nephew was bait.
Mhm.
They use that. They use that for unreasonable subterfuge.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the part is they know how to guilt the fuck out of you.
Oh man, that's a tool I didn't realize that could be used against men so quickly, so badly, and so furiously. Because the first time that happened, as I said, I wanted to. Well, I had I should say I had a chance to cover a Bulls game, and this was right at the height of Derrick Rose's career. Yeah, they were playing the Miami Heat. It was 2011, and LeBron James was in town. Do I need to tell you the rest of that statement?
It was a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And this was they only played 3 times that year, two in the United Center and one in Miami.
And LeBron
Man.
was flopping in a motherfucker.
Like a son bitch. And yet my sister and my mother both had their hands out the day I got the call saying I was approved to cover that particular game. That was one game I did not tell them I had a press pass for. And I told my sister straight out, I'm not scoring you any free tickets. And of course, she starts bitching and whining and moaning, going, why not? I said, because I'm a part of Chicago media. You're not.
And you're gonna be and you could do something that could jeopardize all that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You knew your sister far too well to know the dangers of that.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that you probably used her own son. By the way, can I ask you a question, Snowman?
Yes, sir.
What do you know about your nephew's father?
He got run off.
Well, all she wanted was the baby.
He got run the fuck off.
Okay.
That's all she
And it
was.
wasn't just, let me answer your question like this, Namer.
Okay.
It wasn't just my sister that ran him off.
Your mom too?
Yep.
Yikes.
And unfortunately, Dad couldn't defend him because Dad passed away.
Was he a good man or what? What kind of man was he?
I think he was a good man.
What did I tell you, motherfuckers, before? What type of men do black women not like?
Men
Good
that are
ones.
better than them.
Real men.
Good
men.
Good men.
Good men.
Good men, real men,
Righteous
men that give a fuck, men that give a damn.
You ain't shit for this.
Fuck you, AB.
You know what? I have to make an argument. I got to argue about this.
It fits, but fuck you.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you know what? You know what I say about that? I say, fuck that. What we really need is a statue of Fat Albert over in Philadelphia as an apology and to honor Dr. Bill Cosby.
I agree with that.
No, you don't even need a statue. You don't even need a statue. What you really need to do is a cleansing of holy water sprinkled on these demonic bitches. And see, and I hate to talk so vividly about them, but this is what the world. Remember what I said? What's perception? How you see the world.
Mm-hmm.
Perspective is how you see others in the world and how they view you and how you fit in it.
Yeah.
Their perspective. This is the perspective of how the world views Black American women. They did out of all the beautiful. You could have picked Felicia Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Williams. You could have picked. You could have picked all these other beautiful black women, but what's the one image they picked? You goddamn put that thing back up there again.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I'll give you examples. You know who they put up there? Shirley
Uh.
Hempfield, Precious, aka Gabura Sidibe. What's her face? Erica Watson, Octavia Spencer, Loretta Devine. This thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this, right? Gabby Sidibe, right?
Yeah, Gabby Sidibe.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Sidibe
She,
actually pronounced it
she
okay.
married. She married or got
There you go.
engaged because I ain't hear nothing about. I ain't hear nothing about their marriage or nothing like that to some
Mm-hmm.
funky ass white boy who looked like he didn't have two pennies to rub together.
Hell no.
And I
That's
know
debatable.
he didn't buy her the ring because he couldn't afford to.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He looks like an anorexic Shaggy from Scooby Doo
Mm-hmm.
with a meth problem. So
Wait.
you get remember they keep the same restrictions and also the same what do we call them, the same requirements for
Mm-hmm.
black men to have 6 inches of dick, over 6 feet, six figures, six-pack abs. But when when they're dating another class of man or another race of man, they get the bottom barrel of niggas.
Let me pose a question, and I've posed this before here on this panel, and I want the gentleman in the chat to follow me here. In 3 years' time, in 3.5 years' time, I've had 2 toes amputated. I've dealt with kidney failure, blood clots in both my lungs, multiple stays in the hospital, and y'all know the big one, stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And had surgery for that.
And I had surgery for that, and I was out of action for 2.5 months.
Along with that, you also got type 2 diabetes.
Yep. I'm on
You got your
insulin shots.
Yeah.
My medical bills are over the roof. 3 separate occasions I got turned down for Medicaid and Medicare. And yet, my beautiful wife is still with me. Hardcore, to the bone, all the way there with me, and one of my biggest cheerleaders. The question I want to ask, and I think you all know the answer to this question. Had it been a black woman, you think she'd have stuck with me through all this?
Nope.
Bishop
No.
Bullwinkle?
Mm-mm.
No, Bishop Bullwinkle can answer that song.
Oh yeah. And he has.
Hell no.
Because
And that's the biggest problem. You're expecting something. You're expecting empathy from a unfeeling creature, from a heartless creature.
Apathetic creature.
And all I have to say about this picture is they should have never gave us Ashley Bolt's AI.
Yep.
Should never given you Ashy Blow's
Blows.
artificial intelligence.
Nope.
They should have never gave them. I mean, look at this chick. Attitude, hands on the hip,
Yep.
snarky look in the face.
Yep.
That's how the world sees you, black women. And y'all
Mm-hmm.
proud of this shit.
And they're very proud of it. And they're very
Yep.
proud of it. Yet, speaking of pictures, I got one I'm going to show myself. Yet, when
Well, you got to think. The reason why she kept her ex's last name is because women back in the day kept the husband's last name even after divorce. One, for the kids, and two, because it shows the change that they made after life.
Yeah.
I didn't know my dad's ex-wife's last name till she died. Her maiden last name.
I want to show y'all a picture of and I've never ever shown that I've never shown this picture. It's in the back, Charles.
Okay.
I have never shown this picture before. That is me and my wife on our wedding day.
I've seen this picture. Okay.
I've seen that extra picture, I think.
6/25/19.
June 25th, 2019. June 26th,
Nice.
2019.
6/25/19. The day I married the love of my life.
Huh.
Do you know there are still times I get ridiculed for this shit?
Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's how I
Welcome.
feel.
Hey,
I
mean,
have been deliriously happy since I met Jody in 2018. Deliriously happy. And yes, Horowitz, I am 6 feet 5 inches worth of tallness. That's why she calls me
5'3".
tall man around the house. But to see a picture like this
Mhm.
and basically have it be a copy of what I saw with my parents, because both my parents were smiling in their wedding picture,
Oh wow.
September 24th, 1966.
Oh,
I'll tell you this one, man.
September when?
September 24th, 1966.
Okay.
I'll tell you this one, man. Even the institution of marriage seems abysmal when most of your women don't want to be married.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
They don't want to be married. They don't like to be married.
They've been
You know,
disincentivized to do so.
the day I asked Jody to marry me, tears in her eyes and a smile on her face. January 2nd, 2019, I popped the question.
Cool. Beautiful
That's
day.
for sure. That's for
Good
sure.
time to, good time to propose.
Mm-hmm. We had dinner that night. We were watching a football game, college football game with UCF and Auburn.
Mhm.
And we went looking, and next thing I knew, we found what we wanted. I popped the question right there in the store.
Aw.
But that's my
I'm sure the
wife.
store clerk was looking at her saying, "You better say yes. Better say yes."
I think they already knew because they had seen us around before. We were living in Terre Haute at the time. They had seen us.
Bloomingdale.
They had seen us around before.
Terrible hope, huh?
Yeah, Terrible Hope.
That's outside Bloomington, right?
No,
No.
we're closer to Bloomington now.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
No,
we're
that's in the northern part of Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, right?
central part of Indiana, just
Central.
off the central part of Indiana.
Okay.
Only reason I've heard of Terre Haute is because I remember Jeff Foxworth had a show where he was based in they're set in Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah,
And there's
Assembly Hall.
one episode they got in one episode, yeah. And the reason why is because his father-in-law was the IU former president, but there was one episode where he ended up in Terre Haute for a certain reason. I'm explaining that another time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Let me show you another one. I love taking pictures with Jody. I show her off every chance I get.
Yeah.
Now, when I first started doing it, she didn't like it, but she knew that I am very proud of her for any and everything. I am very proud of her, and I have pride about her. And with this picture we took, we had just crossed the border into North Carolina from Virginia. We had just driven down, getting ready to get settled and everything. I've had many people ask me, what is my why? She's one of my whys. She's the main reason.
hey, who are we to judge? I remember when Cole talked about what's the problem. When you first talked about
Yeah, that was when Jody and I were first dating. And I
They said-
called Cole Christmas night because I actually woke to a nightmare.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We went to mom and dad's house. We went to her mom and dad's house that day for Christmas. Saw the nieces and nephews and everybody, and I was feeling great. But then came home that night, and I couldn't settle down. I couldn't get to sleep. And when I did fall asleep, as I said, I woke to a nightmare. And I didn't want to wake her up because she had been having trouble sleeping anyway with all she had to do for her job. I called Cole. And he asked me 3 questions. Does she make you smile? Does she make you happy? Does she make you laugh? And I said, yeah, to all 3. And he basically said, who gives a fuck about anything else?
Yeah, in his own way, in his own unique way.
And that's the truth. And going back to what Charles was talking about 10 minutes ago, Mom didn't meet Jody until before she passed. And she met her from a distance. And I don't have any problem admitting I was very apprehensive to my mother meeting Jody.
Rightfully so.
Very apprehensive. I was at peace when they had the one conversation they did have. But I don't know what it would have been like in person. And Jody encouraged me, try to bridge the gap with your mom. But at the same time, Jody understood why I had such a gap with my mom, because she flipped it. A leaf turned over when Dad died.
Yeah. You want to know how many not black men, black women I've seen on TikTok talk about how they go no contact with their mothers? Not black men, black women.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've seen a few.
around Mother's Day, I was like, yeah, something's. I'm like, okay. Call their mother a bitch and everything. I mean,
Someone's woken them up.
talk about how she's a narcissist, yada yada yada.
Well, you know how
Something
much they
that's-
throw that term around, but some people and certain people can be accurate, but there's some people throw that term around.
True.
Mhm.
I mean, I know somebody, and they're not black, they're white, but a friend of mine,
Back in a minute.
he has a daughter he has not met until so recently, and it was because the mother drove him away. It wasn't until recently that her stepfather decided to like say she needs to know who her real father is, so she contacted his family, and he finally got a chance to meet her, and she is every bit just like him. 16 years, she's 16 now, and he was just over the moon just getting a chance to meet her. He wanted to meet her when she was born, but circumstances was the mother drove him was like a big wedge. And
Just to
so,
rob them of that shit.
Mhm.
and keep in mind, they're not black; they're white. And this is
Just to
another
rob
thing
him. I never said ignorance was a color, was it?
No, you didn't.
Just to rob him of that shit alone.
And they have been. It's only he sent me pictures of her, and I was just saying happy, just a smile on his it's just a smile on his face, a smile on his eyes when he was with her, but the smile on her face, how much she resembles him. But I can understand certain women just having like estranged relationships. I know somebody has the same thing with her mother. I don't blame her for that. My mother, we have the best relationship now. When I was younger, it was hard because my mental health issues and everything. But I'm just glad that I just didn't just have her in my family, in my life. I also had my aunts and everybody, because sometimes my aunts were able to like get through to me when she couldn't. Just like my uncles were able to get through to me when my dad couldn't. So I can understand like how dysfunctional some people are. I've met families who are dysfunctional. My family had their dysfunctions, but at least it wasn't as bad as other people's. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Only thing I got to deal with right now is because I got to call her tomorrow for Mother's Day. But I know my siblings are going to all try to compete on who can call her first. What are y'all doing?
I really never cared about calling first for Mother's Day. What drove The biggest wedge between my mother and I is a question she asked me after Donna was born.
Oh.
Beanie, have heard this story before. Here it is again. When Donna was born, the biggest person I was the person I was most reluctant to tell was Mom. And I got my reason a day later when she said
Who's
to
snoring?
me, Charles,
Charles?
Yes.
Oh, for a minute you don't. I
sound like
thought
you
you
were
dozed
snoring
off.
for a minute, man.
Continue.
But anyway, yeah. Continue.
Well,
Sorry, Snowman.
the question she asked me, instead of saying congratulations, welcome Donna to the family, the question she asked me was, are you going to be there for her?
Because you know black men don't take care of kids. When you
If
stop
I
being
can
black, man.
if I can only put into words how pissed off I was when she asked me that.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that. You're not a human being, you're a human doing. You're not a competent father without a woman being around to supervise.
Yeah, Horowitz.
Does that make sense?
Questioning my commitment off the rip. I'll say it again. I can't put into words how angry I was when she asked me that question. And when I lost my family because of some bullshit, I had to move back home. Guess what Mom wanted me to do? Get a DNA test done immediately. Didn't need it.
You knew it was yours.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it didn't hurt to get it either way, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I know.
But however,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she was being genuine or if she was just on some bullshit when she said that. Sometimes because
I'll
you don't know
answer your
she.
question. She was on some bullshit. And I can tell from the way that she treated me and Donna compared to the way she treated Nicole and Remington.
Mm-hmm.
Was Donna mixed?
Yes.
That's why.
And she had green eyes. I've seen the pictures. Just like her mother, Lynn, correct?
Liz.
Liz, okay.
Liz.
Yeah, I knew someone named
Yeah,
Liz.
Horowitz. This is another part I'm going to talk about. And this is the whole chapter is going to be dedicated to Donna and everything happened there. I was getting ready to move to Indianapolis, 2013, about 2 months after Donna was born. Her family intercepted everything. I actually lost Donna twice, once to adoption and once to death. I was forced to give her up in 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything was cut off 2014. Why? Because Liz and I were happy celebrating Donna's 1-year birthday, and somebody just happened to snap a picture. Y'all want to find out why I do everything I do? That's a part of it. That's the biggest part of it I can think of. That's the biggest part of it.
Take your time.
That's why I do that's why I do what I love to do. That's why, because she wouldn't have wanted me to quit at all. She would not have wanted me to quit. In fact, Liz even told me, because I told Liz on a phone call, because I was sitting down I was in Chicago, sitting in a Starbucks crying out loud. And I had people coming by giving me condolences because I had to face that alone.
Black men have no feelings. Black men don't care. Black men just want to fuck all the time. Black men don't take care of their kids.
A trope that's
See,
that's as old as slavery itself.
yep. And hearing that, what people don't understand is I had to face that alone. I couldn't tell my mother. I sure as hell couldn't tell Nicole. I couldn't tell anybody. A year and a half when after I had to sign Donna away because from the outside looking in, I was living with my mother. I had no place of my own. I didn't get my shit together, quote unquote, in time, as I was told quite a few times over by my mother included, and I didn't deserve to have a child. Yes, that was actually said to me. It was actually told to my face I didn't deserve to have a child by many people.
How infuriating.
By many people. I didn't deserve to have a child. I'm going to show you all the picture.
That's a beautiful picture of you and Jody, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Can you believe it's almost been 7 years?
I can believe it.
Charles, take a look in the back right about now. Y'all want to see a pretty face that I had to give up? Take a look at that face. That is Donna. That is Daddy's baby girl.
Oh,
Every year on March the 6th, I'm in a pool full of tears.
that's when she was born, huh?
March 6, 2013.
Oh, she was Gen Z.
The
Gen
day she
Alpha.
was born, I was to travel to Chicago to do a softball doubleheader. And when I snapped a picture and sent it to John, my boss at Roosevelt University, he said, take all the time you need.
Thank you, sir. I take it John himself was a family man.
Yes, my boss, John, was indeed a family man.
Oh, you understand.
He understood. This was my, and the crazy part is, I'm a late bloomer. I didn't become a dad until I turned 40. So in essence, I had fatherhood robbed from me twice because I only had a year with Donna.
Yeah.
So yes, Horowitz, someone said I didn't deserve to be a father. Now, you want the crazy part about this? The woman one of the first women who told me I didn't deserve or need to be a father is related to me.
Because you look at that child, a competition and a threat to her access to resources.
This was Daddy's baby girl,
On
whom I
top of
lost
that,
when she was 2, March
on
9th,
top,
2015.
on top of that, looking at you raising her, I'm sure would have reminded her how much of a failure she was with her own child. Correct?
Right on the money. This child was taken from me twice, gentlemen. If there's one thing I never wish on a man is to lose a child. Let me correct my sentence. If there's one thing I don't care how pissed off I am at him. If there's one thing I never, ever will wish on a man is for him to lose his child. I lost this pretty face twice within a span of 7 months.
There's such a cheeky smile.
I lost this pretty girl twice. Let me correct myself. I lost this pretty girl twice within a span of 10 months. 10 months. She got adopted at the tail end of 2014, and I had to watch that slip away. And then I lost her to death on March 9th of 2015. And I never got the chance to really raise her the way I wanted to.
She was a Sid's baby, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Even toddlers could die of SIDS? I never knew that. I've heard infants, but
I
toddlers?
didn't. I didn't think it happened to. I didn't think it happened either, but that was what happened.
For what it's worth, man, she's with Tiny
Mm-hmm.
and Pop. She's with the snow. She's with the other snows right now in heaven. And as far as
And
you go, you got 3 wonderful daughters
mm-hmm.
and a cheeky boy to deal with. So you got your second chance at fatherhood.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I know. I'm sure Donna would look at you like, Dad, I'm good. They need you right now. I'm all right. I got Grandpa and Grandpa with me. Okay, Snowman.
Still tough days to deal with. Not having her here, and Charles. One more time. There's another picture in the back I want you to show for me.
Can I say something, Snowman?
Go for it.
What about Liz? How is what? Do you know anything? What became of her?
No. Every mode of communication was cut off. And she wasn't the one to do it, damn it. Now, make no mistake, I am overjoyed with Jody.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that pisses me off, and I had to let go at the altar, were all the unanswered questions. Because it wouldn't be fair to Jody if I sought the answers.
He did the right thing. Only right.
The only thing I did was the only thing I was supposed to do. I told Jody about all that happened. And she knows why every day every March, I'm in a pool full of tears.
Hey, there's one man I know who can understand loss, and that's Base.
Man, does he ever? He understands. Hey, Charles, look in the back. There's another picture I'd like for you to put up, please.
God rest his wife, his soul.
Mm-hmm.
What was she like?
I never had a chance to meet his wife in person, but I know she made him very happy because as much as Jody zings me and I zing her, it was the same with Bass and his wife.
Which explains, why things go completely left with us. When he was on Snowman, when he came on every
Yep.
Friday.
Yep. He understood. More to the point, I understood what he had. I have it now.
Oh,
I have it now. I can honestly say there are some days that it's a royal pain in the ass. That is my hero.
whoa!
That is William Otis Snow Jr., my dad.
Wait, was Tiny's first name? So was Tiny's full
Tiny's
name
first
what?
name was George.
And where'd the junior come from?
Dad was a junior on his side of the family. But that's Pops.
You got one of Tiny?
No, but I intend to find one before the summer is over.
Hold on, I gotta say, I don't see much resemblance other than the eyes and everything. Sorry, sister. Horror HFH is which comments in the way. They can't get a good look.
That's
Okay,
my
from
dad.
from the eyes upwards, you do resemble him.
Mm-hmm. Strongest man I ever knew. One of two, actually. Second being Tiny.
Grandpa Snow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He was my hero. He's the reason I got into broadcasting because he kept encouraging me. You think mom wanted me to do that shit? No, because it was of no value to her. Dad saw the value.
And he saw you had aspirations. He saw that you had a dream and you were committed to it. So he was like, "Yeah, go for it."
He told me all the time, I don't care who tries to stop you, including me or your mother. Don't let anybody stop you from chasing your dreams. He told me that every day before he passed away. Every day. That's why I push through every day. That's why. 3 reasons: my dad, my daughter, and my wife. Want a few
Dustin
more?
Rhodes.
Want a
Oh,
few
wait.
more? Mix in my children, my grandchildren.
Dustin Rhodes has a tattoo, and it's a quote. It's on his ankle. It is the state flag of the state of Texas in the shape of Texas, and underneath is a phrase that says "Keep on pushing."
Mm-hmm.
That was a phrase he learned. That was something his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, would tell him. Dustin, you gotta keep on pushing, baby. You gotta keep on pushing. As hard as things can be, you gotta keep on pushing. And that was a Rose thing. The Texas side, not the Georgia side.
That's
Remember,
what he.
Cody's from Georgia.
That's
Born and raised.
that's what Dad told me all the time. Every difficult path I ran into, he would say, "Just keep on pushing." Every day. I got like a few other pictures of Donna here in front of me. My goal by the end of the summer is to get a few more pictures of Dad and of Tiny and hand them to Jody and let her do her thing and make a collage out of it. And once that collage is done, that's my backdrop.
Sweet.
And to think my mother would not have welcomed Donna at all. I know my dad would have in a heartbeat. I know my dad would have.
All right.
But just hearing my mother say, "Are you going to be there for her?" And she never did tell me congratulations. Think about that, gentlemen. She never told me congratulations. That hurts me to this day. Even though my mom's gone now, rest her soul, lost her to colon cancer. But that part right there, she never told me congratulations when Donna was born. And that's why she was my last call when I was telling everybody that Donna was here.
Condolences are in order. First and foremost. And I can understand that.
Thank you, James. So if anyone ever wondered why I hustle as hard as I do, you just caught a glimpse.
I would say, hey, don't push yourself too hard, man.
I'm
All
not.
right. All
I've
right.
I was supposed to be on air tonight, but then I saw this setup from Charles, and I didn't feel physically tired or anything. I just sat back and chilled, and now I'm up here with you guys.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do.
It was something I needed to do. And your
Mm-hmm.
body and your heart will tell you what you need to do. It will tell you how hard you need to push, when to pull back, when to just
And
chill out.
in this case, you just need to get some shit off your chest before you can go out there and handle your business.
Yeah, I needed it. I didn't realize I did. My wife is at her mom's right now. Cheyenne is going to take Jody out for Mother's Day, which I'm excited about because they promised me a lot of pictures together. But
Yeah.
just to be able to be around that kind of family setting means the world to me.
Mm.
I tell Jody all the time, Donna would have adored you. When I first
I'm
told
sure.
her that, Jody said, "Are you sure?" Honey, I am positive.
I'm sure Donna would have been very mischievous.
Man, Donna is daddy's girl. There have been all kind of practical jokes flying around, but when it comes down to it, I know for a fact that if she needed a hug, she's coming to both of us.
Yeah.
She would have crawled into Jody's lap without even blinking.
Mm. I sometimes wonder if I made the right decision not to have children.
Only
With
you will know that in time.
uh, I remember I could have been a dad, but I don't know. Just the circumstances of it would not have been ideal for me.
Hmm.
And considering the person involved, something in my gut told me don't do it. I mean, I mean, first of all, he's white and all, blonde, blue-eyed, and everything, but I wasn't ready.
Hmm.
I was not fully mature about it. We had conversations about it, but just it's just that but this is the path that my life has taken to me realizing like, hey, you would be a great dad, but unfortunately, your genes are not worth it, especially some of the baggage you have, some of the like.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, because of my mental health and everything, and there's a genetic component, I don't want to pass that on to them.
Hmm.
Decided not to.
Totally understood.
I mean, I had to break my own mother's heart about that because she's got two of her siblings have become grandparents for the first time. I mean, one of my aunts recently became one through one of my female cousins, and I got to see pictures, and I was overjoyed to see that my little nephew.
Hmm.
I got one of my aunts on my dad's side has a granddaughter from her oldest, who's my age, and I've seen pictures of her, and I adore that little girl. But I'm just I just know I would have been a great dad. It's just that the circumstances were not in the cards.
Yeah, I
And
totally get that.
yeah,
Totally.
I broke my mom's heart when I told my Mom, it's not a good idea to have a child because what's in my head. I'm scared I'm gonna pass that on to whatever little kid. Even though I know I probably would see the telltale signs and prepare them for it, but I don't think I would have it in me, especially in this environment where I know I cannot discipline them.
Hmm.
It's not that I whooped ass. It's just I just know I just can't. I'm just like I just know I would have to be very creative, and you do not want me to be that creative because I know that's the sadistic side of me will come out. Just like
Hmm.
BTS talks about having the evil twin.
Yeah.
I've got an inner demon. there's a dark side to me. I do not want to show them because I know they will probably have it as well, and I will probably set a bad example.
Yeah.
It's bad enough I'm a bad influence, and but in some way that bad influence becomes positive. But knowing the dangers of that,
Mm-hmm.
that's why But then again, I always know I'm going to be a great uncle, but I know I'm just going to be a mean uncle as well, like Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac taught me how to be a great uncle.
You know what's fun?
Uh,
Waiting, being around my children, being around and knowing them and getting to know them because I still get to know them every day. Such a joy, even though mine was taken from me, even though I still have some battles with how unfair it was to have Donna taken from me. I still have Donna in my heart, and I can see parts of her in my children. I told Dakota I can see there were times that Donna would run him ragged and then he'd get even and return the favor. And I would just be leaning back in my chair laughing. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I have in my life who I'm supposed to have.
mm-hmm.
And continuing to battle back from cancer and everything. I am where I need to be. It took a while, I can honestly say, for me to come to that decision. But seeing all the kids that I've seen and all that I've been around for almost 30 years broadcasting and the ones who I've really gotten to know, I'm good. I'm I'm absolutely good. When I heard Charles say some of the things that he said tonight, it brought a lot out of me that I thought I'd push down. But then as I look at this notebook in front of me and see all the chapters I've written down, some suggested by Charles, some by you, Namer, some by Jody, this project is nowhere near done.
And most of all, neither are you.
I'm just getting started. Biggest mountain in front of me, and I chop that sumbitch down with the side of my hand.
Part of it is that you got to keep believing.
Every day, man. Every day. I can honestly say there were times I thought I wouldn't. There were times I thought I wouldn't be able to. I do now. More
They
than
say
you
the
know.
black manosphere is corrupting people. It's dying. It's corrupting the youth.
Bullshit. Wait. I gotta do this right. Black manosphere is corrupt, huh?
Now that's some bullshit.
And Charles, first of all, you understand, ain't no lies there, brother. Sorry, I can never do AL's voice. God damn it. That's the one voice I can't do.
I'll be able to copy it one day. Not today, but I'll be able to copy it.
Well, we gotta get AL to just up here to say, no lies here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just remember one thing about me, Snowman. Especially considering, you're missing 2 toes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You should just look at me the same way Coach Palm looks at Shay Shay. I ain't no good. I ain't no good.
But let me say thank you to Charles for letting me up for a little bit and reminding me that I'm not finished. Nowhere near.
Not by a long shot, man. You still got way more You still got a lot more asses to kick, a lot of names to take, a lot of
And I still have a lot more games to do.
uh-huh.
I have a lot more games to do.
I mean, there's still a lot of people. Hey, think about this. And I remember it was Jeffrey Holder said this. Whatever you do out there in this world, just remember that you may not realize it, but somewhere out there is a young child who might see you or hear you do your thing, and they might be inspired to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you were inspired as a kid going to broadcasting. Who knows? You might inspire someone else to go into it.
I want,
Everybody's going through something, and like I always said, we all we got.
and all we'll ever have.
No lies there.
All we got. I mean,
I
we
mean, I
went
made
through
a
something.
decision today to become a mental health coach, relying on the best teacher I've ever had. Experience.
Mm.
We're all
I
we
need to
got,
talk
folks.
to I need to talk to Maggie one of these days. If anyone, one of y'all can help me, reach out to her, that'd be cool.
Hmm.
Maggie Thompson.
Just put it. Go to her channel. She might have an email.
Uh,
Might be the best way there.
that'd be
Just gonna
cool.
tell you,
Mm.
always great. I don't know. I was ranting hard, but when my female coworker, when she's black, by the way, when she saw the shit that we saw for these weeks, and she said, "I will never challenge it again."
What exactly
And
did she see?
she saw how horrible a lot of black brothers are. And I said, if you want your son to be the best, because she has a 7-year-old boy,
Oh,
if you want your son to be the best, love him like he's something that's worth cultivating.
yep.
Number two, always keep his dad and men around him in his life.
Thank you for letting all always having my uncles and aunts around me, even when Dad wasn't around or couldn't. Sorry, when Dad couldn't be there. Thank you for having all my aunts and uncles out there for me. And I return the favor by looking out for their kids, trying to be a good big brother slash older cousin.
About to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Anybody in the Baltimore, DC area, I'm gonna be tonight. Fire and smoke cigar parlor. Woo!
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate you.
Whoa! Sorry, I can't do the stinger yell right now.
So, whoo! Anytime, Snowman. And don't forget, subscribe to the Snowman. If you're first time being here with me, subscribe to me. I'm trying to periodically do some stuff. And there's gonna come a time when I'm just gonna have to talk about the Simps. But I'm gonna
Absolutely.
get into the next one. I'm gonna get more in depth with that one. Because we're gonna go back into black male empowerment. It doesn't mean we hate women. It's just that we know that nobody's gonna look out for us like us.
Yeah.
Till then, folks. Woo! Good morning, good afternoon, good night.